Floyds Mayhem Garage today. Well, you know, it's a 360. Gonna yank the motor out of this guy today, bell housing and everything, and hopefully get it into my new off-road truck today. We'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. Better idea for those who haven't been following along with me online or on social media, anything like that. I bought this truck a while back. It's got a good running 360 in it. Not original to the truck. I think he said it was out of a Monaco or something like that. But got an Edelbrock aluminum intake on it. Had no carb on it when I bought it, so I put a Edelbrock carb on it. Updated the ignition system, or just replaced parts mostly, but the original Chrysler ignition system's still functional and working in it. So that is making it into my new truck I got over here. I purchased a 78 W100. It is on 3/4 ton axles. It's originally a full-time four-wheel drive truck. The Dana 44 under the front has locking hubs, so it's kind of an odd combination, but it is sitting on 36-inch tires. They're pretty old, but they'll work for now. They're more than enough to have some fun with. But this guy has no engine, but it is set up for a 4-speed. So plan here, yanking that motor out, and I'm just going to transplant it into this one. Literally do hardly anything to it. I was gonna put a lower temp thermostat in it, was it, just to help keep it from overheating. But yeah, here she is. This is a cool truck. I've been wanting to build something pretty much exactly like this for quite a while now, and thus I found one for sale. And so of course, as you can see, the wheel wells are already cut out. Not a good job either. They're nice and hacked and uneven, and you know, additional marks left over, and then the metal inside's sharp, but you know what? It's perfect. That just means I am not afraid to beat it up. So it not being perfect, it not being nice, means this is going to be a heck of a trail rig. Or goof around rig, or, you know, beat it up and not feel bad about it. So, interior, there's not much of one. Oh, let's see. Alright, well, maybe that side's locked. It wasn't locked yesterday. Let's try this side. Yeah, there we go. Interior, not much. Transmission, floor's been replaced. Somebody welded in. They actually, surprisingly, looks like they did a pretty good job on the weld. But no dash. That bad boy, huh? Pop that open and get some cool air in. Never been a big fan of those, but for this, I'll have to live with it. It's fine. So pretty interesting though. Got a different door panel over on this truck, or on that door I should say. And this side has this trim up here. I don't know that I've ever seen this. And it looks factory to me, which this is set up like the B-body Mopars cars would be, to where it then would have like the cardboard that'd slide up into it and then pop in. I don't know that I've ever seen that. But too bad it's not missing on that side. I could make a set of door panels, but I may have to experiment with that. But yes, that's what we're looking at today. We'll see how far I get. So I think I'm going to try something a little bit different with this video. Instead of having as much time lapse and regular video of showing everything pulling out, I think I'm just going to explain, because I don't want things to start getting real repetitive. And honestly, pulling an engine's pretty basic nowadays, or you know, especially with these old ones at least. Newer motors I can't even imagine, but these old ones, I've already pulled the radiator out, so that's as simple as draining the coolant, unhooking the radiator hoses. This is a manual transmission, so there's no transmission cooler lines to deal with. And unbolt the radiator, pull that out. Past that, I'll probably end up pulling the fan, so there's room to pull the motor out, but it's 2 motor mount bolts, It's 4 bolts for the transmission to bell housing. You pull those 4, the transmission can end up staying, and I'll just pull the motor off of the transmission. And other than that, it's throttle linkages, fuel lines, wiring, and coolant lines for the heater. And other than that, I'm pretty sure it'll be ready to pull. So we'll do that and we'll jump ahead. And a nice little hack for those of you who are working by yourself and you gotta take off a hood. They do get a little tricky. So nice little tech tip here. Get yourself a piece of wood and break it to the proper length. On these Dodges especially, you got a hole up in here and you can usually cram them. In the case, bring this guy back down. Cram them up in the hood. And actually this one, because it's open so far, we might go up in here. But that's just on the radiator support. That allows you to, see if I can get this balanced here. Loosen up the hood. I've already taken out the 2 front bolts. Drop that down onto the cowl. Same thing on this side. And in the case of a truck like this, where you're not entirely worried about the paint or the hood itself, you can just let that drop. Now that's rusting, no bolts. Set the tools off to the side. That is free there, held up here. Let's see. Really need a place to put the GoPro here. Don't have a good one. This may or may not be a good angle. But with that now, pick up the hood, remove your piece of wood. You gotta pull up off of the fenders, drop it forward, and remove the hood by yourself. Would you look at that? There's a big hole. That's because it's right here. So brought it over here, started degreasing it. Just sprayed it down. Forgot about a few parts at the store. Forgot about this guy. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for fuel system. I know this one doesn't work. I just had it bypassed on this truck, running just a vacuum or a gravity feed down to the carb. So I do need to figure out a fuel system for the truck over there. So I think I need to run and go get some parts. And yeah, I think I was debating what to do for gauges. I think I'm just gonna run some aftermarket gauges. So I'll pick some of those up while I'm there as well. But yeah, she's out. Just cut the exhaust. I'll leave it like that for now. Just probably run it open exhaust in that for the time being. Other than that, yeah, she's basically ready to just stab into this truck now. Gonna just spray it down, get it cleaned up enough. I mean, it is going into a off-road mud truck, so I'm not too picky on it. But yeah, there she is. Taylor, what do you think?
It's pretty badass. I like this truck a lot. And you found yourself a short bed. You don't even need to chop up your other truck that you got.
Isn't that cool, man?
It is pretty cool.
Say, you showed up just in time. So, yeah, just had this on the tractor and was ready to swap or stab it in, I guess. So, made it up to the bell housing already, bolted that up. Motor mounts are in, but nothing's No nuts or anything on them yet. Just sitting there. So I think we're gonna try to move it over there, a little closer to the shop. I got it kind of over here out of the way. So
Next steps.
just put everything together, make it run. So I do got to figure out my power steering. The old one, because this is a 1980 motor, had an air pump on it.
Okay.
So this one being a 78 truck doesn't have it. So I don't know what I got to do for brackets. I don't mess with these small blocks enough.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think I should hopefully have what I need to put it together. If not, I gotta switch out pumps is all, or brackets at least. But yeah, it's in and it looks good. It fits way better than a big block does.
Yes, look at all this room. Tons of room.
Oh, pretty wild. So yeah, let's get it moved. Okay, well, Taylor, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it works, I think.
So,
This harness was pretty much just chopped to pieces, so we had to steal the one from your...
yeah, so I stole the ignition side off of the other truck. So got the module and ballast resistor and the whole wiring harness of that side. But I ended up, because the steering column on this one's junk, just jumping the ballast resistor wires. So just supply power to that, and that should make it run. And the same thing, because I have no key, the steering column is absolutely trashed in this truck. So I'm just bypassing all of that for now. And so I've got a wire here for the starter as well. So Taylor, let's see if it starts. So I already tested it, does crank over.
And then now we hooked up fuel.
And my fuel system, I love that Honda fuel tank. That started a lot of vehicles. We've got fuel, ignition.
Sounds pretty healthy.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
You know, and I was really surprised. I didn't paint this motor or anything. I just cleaned it.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is relatively clean. The guy I got the other truck from that this motor came out of said that it had been replaced. I think he said they used it was out of a Dodge Monaco, I think he said.
Huh.
I don't remember if he said he rebuilt it or not, but it's really clean. And it appears to run good. So, yeah, and as I said, it does sound healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
But the lack of exhaust makes it sound a little better.
Right. What are you going to do for exhaust on this?
I have no idea. Honestly, which doesn't sound like me, I want to put some quieter mufflers on here.
Yeah.
It's still got to sound good. I mean, you're gonna have a V8 78 Dodge pickup.
Right.
So it's got to have a good sound to it, but I also don't want it obnoxious. I want it to where I can drive it, down a trail and not go deaf doing it.
Right. Cool.
Okay, 2 days later. It's nighttime now, but she's, I can't exactly say done, but it runs and drives. So, motor is in, radiator. The interior on this thing's trashed. Got it. Can we see anything here? No, we can't see anything. That's all right. You can listen. Got a gear here. We got a fuel pump. And here on. I'd say that's the quickest engine swap I've done. Pulled it out of that truck. That was a running and driving truck. Swapped it out yesterday, got it into here, finished up all the wiring and fuel system and all that today, and fired it up and drove it.